This is Hannibal here from thehannibaltv.com, back with the daily wrestling news update. I just earlier did a review of the Liver King's supposed apology for taking steroids. And from the comments people are saying on there, a lot of them are like, why do people care? And for those who don't know why people care, it's because he was insisting that he never took steroids prior to this. And then I guess his drug dealer or whatever outed him for some reason. So he had to come clean. But if he had been admitting that he'd taken stuff all along, I don't think people would care. But yeah, he looks like a steroid guy. He has the Lex Luger look. Anyways, also Frank Dukes, who not only was a stunt coordinator on Bloodsport, but was a great martial artist, supposedly in his own history, and supposedly Bloodsport was based on him. He did an interview on the Old School Shooters podcast on this channel today. I will interview Frank Dukes myself. I was supposed to. I haven't gotten around to it yet. But let me get into the news here. Kurt Angle did a podcast where he said he's not sure if he's going to return to the ring, but he'd be open to doing something like a tag match like Ric Flair did, where he's working with younger wrestlers that didn't expose him because he's not exactly the same wrestler he used to be. So in other words, for the right money and situation, he would do it. AEW, they just signed more and more and more wrestlers. They've signed Juice Robinson from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now keep in mind, guys, on Access TV, New Japan gets either no ratings or 0.01. And AEW wonders why they're getting less and less and less popular. They keep signing guys that appeal to the smart mark audience that's already their audience. And they sign more and more and more of these little cruiserweight guys or these Japanese guys that nobody from the mainstream gives a fuck about, because you have to be a smart mark to follow the Japanese wrestling scene. But anyways, he's a multi-billionaire. He can do whatever he wants. But again, another guy that's not going to make any difference. Lacey Evans put out a Marine training video on the WWE's YouTube channel. I watched it, and I did notice they showed her doing 3 chin-ups, but it was a different angle every time. So you have to assume she was only doing 1 chin-up at a time. And there was also a video on SmackDown where Karrion Kross said Rey Mysterio is his quote-unquote next victim, but he was just beat by Drew McIntyre in his first big match back at Elimination, or was it Crown Jewel, I think? So was that his last victim, him losing at Crown Jewel? I don't know. I understand he's not the best on the mic, but he had Karrion Kross had a lot of hoopla coming in, and it seems like that hoopla left pretty fast. So hope everyone has a good Saturday. And yeah, I would like to see Kurt Angle back in the ring. AEW should do it. There's a guy, honestly, like you fire like 20 or 30 of these cruiserweights that you hire and just put on AEW Dark and then randomly on your main shows that just waste funds, and instead put Kurt Angle on your show as a character. That'd make a difference. I don't understand it, man. Is Roman Reigns injured? I think he had an ear injury from Kevin Owens stiffing him a bit. And it's supposedly an unplanned spot at Survivor Series. But he doesn't wrestle that often, so I don't think it's really going to affect him. Apparently he swore and yelled at Kevin Owens after, according to reports. And Kevin Owens probably did nothing, as first of all, his fault that he injures a guy. Second of all, he backs down from every backstage confrontation he ever has. That's well documented. But maybe that's a smart thing to do because he makes $2 or $3 million a year. John checking in from Manchester, England. Oh my God. You know what? I actually was watching something about Manchester where apparently if you want to get laid, that is the sluttiest town in the world. The most like loose women or birds, as you want to call them. I'm familiar with that slang because I did wrestle in England. They're in Manchester. But I did notice in the UK, for some reason, it was very easy for me to get girls. For some reason, like I haven't been there since 2008, but like whatever, my look was quite popular in the UK. I remember like literally having sex the first day I was there before I even wrestled. But yeah, I did have one problem though. I was fucking this girl for a while there, and she was telling me the whole time that she was on birth control. And then she surprised me and said, "Oh, by the way, I'm not on birth control." That was crazy. And apparently there, if girls get pregnant, they get a good amount of money from the government. So they don't really care if they get pregnant. But I didn't get that girl pregnant. Never gotten anyone pregnant. Anyways, I won't digress on that too much. But if you're in Manchester, you shouldn't have too much problems. But maybe true love is different than just randomly getting laid. But best of luck to you. I'm not the best one to ask for love advice. I had a really good wife, and yeah, I didn't realize how good until I started dating others and realized that there's a lot of. It's not that hard to get laid if you're a YouTube star, but a lot of girls will just be after you because either they think you have money or they want to get the rub from you. So to find a good one is pretty bad, pretty difficult. So for the meantime, I've given up. John, infertile. I actually never. I only tried once to get a girl pregnant, and I'm glad that didn't work out. But I was counting, and I only came in her 16 times. Other than that, I never actually tried to get anyone pregnant, and I played it safe. So I don't know about infertile, but it's doubtful that I'll ever have a kid. This YouTube channel is my baby, and I think that's the best way to go about things because kids are only going to cost you money. I'd rather focus on stuff that makes me money.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news